declare this meeting of the Lancaster County Broadband Authority open. Today is February 9th. I had to think of the date. All right, do we have anybody electronically, Glenn? Yeah. Okay. The first order of business, this is, well, we've done the call to order, we've done the public comment, there are no people, and approval of minutes.
I submitted the minutes for the January 12th, 2023 meeting to everyone, and no one had provided any comments, so
I did.
I said yeah.
You said yes, yeah. Nobody had any suggested changes. So I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the January 12th, 2023 board meeting.
I second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, they're approved. Next, the annual meeting. First thing on the annual meeting is election of officers. As sure you know, I mentioned this to Don the other day. We started planning for the authority in April 2018. It's been almost 5 years since we've had all the planning for the authority. And then in July, hey Craig.
Hello.
Aye.
No, we're just
Getting
really
rolling.
getting into it. As I was saying, the Board of Supervisors contacted 9 of us in April 2018 to see if we needed an authority or whatever to do broadband. And we submitted the report in June 2018, and in July, I believe the 31st, we were officially the Lancaster County Broadband Authority with bylaws, etc. And I was elected chair. After almost 5 years, I want to step down as chair. So what I'd like to do is still stay on the authority for the time being, but no longer serve as chair. So what I'd like to do is propose that anyone interested in nominating another individual to be chair of the authority, please do so. Or else I will nominate.
I'll nominate Sheree to be chair.
I'm gonna nominate you. Can't do it. I'm with your nomination. Yeah.
So we have a second. Would you consider the position?
I'll consider it if you're not, Cassie says she's not leaving,
She
right?
said
No,
she's
she's
not
not
leaving.
leaving.
Yeah, I'm staying on
And-
the authority.
You're not leaving.
I'm not
Are you
leaving.
staying? Okay.
Yeah, I'm staying.
He's staying too.
But you would be a very good chair.
You would, an excellent chair.
Remember, I was going to leave, right?
Yeah,
Um,
but you would be a great chair. And we would support you if you need whatever help, if you like have to work and you can't make it
Yeah,
and
we'll
whatever.
be here for you.
Yeah,
Okay, all right. I'll do it.
Okay.
All right, so the vote.
So we vote, all those in favor, Sheree as chair of LCBA, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Okay.
Okay, so be it. Your first job as chair is to continue with the election of officers.
Oh, okay. Is that right?
Yeah, you're chair.
Is it official? I don't think I've been sworn in yet for my second term.
Sheree's really, I mean, Cassie's ready to.
I'm ready.
She's ready. Let's hand it off.
She wasn't joking.
Okay, so I'm going to nominate Michelle for vice chair since she said she was willing to support if I wasn't here. And according to the bylaws, the vice chair must pick up the baton of the chair when she or he is not present. Does anybody?
I
I
second.
second it. Second, third it.
Yep, we
All-
got,
Okay, that's fair.
all right. All those in
Yeah.
favors? I'm sorry.
yep, that's you now. You're supposed to say all those in favor.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
You can vote, Chair.
Any opposition? I voted. I nominated, right? So,
Yeah. Okay.
all in favor?
Aye.
Oh, I guess.
Vice Chair, can
oh,
I
that.
ask one other question, though, of the Vice Chair? According to the bylaws, anybody can serve as treasurer, or I mean secretary.
Correct.
It doesn't have to be a separate position. Are you willing to continue to be secretary? Or,
Yeah, that's fine.
is that
I
fine?
mean, it's just the minutes.
Okay, it's the minutes.
Are we allowed
can
to
hold-
hold
yeah.
two positions?
It doesn't even have to be
Yeah, the
I
secretary
have no
doesn't
problem.
a
have,
I was
board
asking.
member.
Yeah,
I
you
just
don't
want to
have
make
to be
certain
board
we have a secretary.
But
Right.
you, if you,
And I'm not
if you would
good
like
at
to be secretary, I
I'm
would be
not.
happy to.
Technical director for a school system. We don't got time for that.
Okay, So, is there any, Kevin, are you still willing to serve as treasurer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
It's pretty
Well,
simple.
I'll make a motion that Kevin continue for another year as treasurer for the LCBA. Anybody want to second that?
I'll second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 That was so quick.
Okay. So now we're,
Congratulations, you guys.
Back at the same.
So just, I want to make, we were doing like a motion, was it something that really had to be a motion to vote? I don't think so.
so-
well, nominate.
listen-
We're
listen.
nominating.
Right, so-
Remember, you nominated.
You have
Okay.
to,
I just want to make sure I record it
you
properly.
have to have nominations.
Okay,
Then there has to be a motion to vote on those nominations.
okay, so I nominated Sheree, I just want to get it correct. for the
Correct, and
record.
that was
I'm not-
seconded by either one of us, because we both like,
So
Okay,
at the same time,
so I'm going
yeah.
to say,
either one.
okay, Kevin seconded, and then all in favor.
all right,
Mm-hmm.
and then Cherie nominated you
Okay.
as the second in charge,
Uh-huh,
and Cassie seconded that,
yeah,
and then we all voted, and that was unanimous.
yeah,
All right, and then treasurer,
yeah.
I
Sheree
nominated-
she nominated,
Kevin,
got seconded by
me,
Yes.
either one of y'all, and then we all voted on that, well, except for me.
okay, yeah.
We all voted on that, and then you were asked by the chair to take up the job of, or maintain the job
Maintain.
of secretary.
Yeah,
So,
so we'll say Sheree nominated and somebody seconded,
Yep.
yes,
I second.
okay.
I'm good at keeping, like, timelines.
So you should be secretary.
No, because the part of the secretary thing is the whole putting it into people's words, and I suck at that.
No, that's fine, I've got it down now.
Okay.
Okay, so with the appointments for director positions for the 2023, we can move to the review of the bylaws. I just have some questions about the bylaws. I don't necessarily have any proposals for revisions, but one is in the order of election of officers. Somebody who's supposed to be the Northern Neck Broadband Authority designation, and
That was Gary.
did that get transferred to,
Nobody.
oh, I thought Michelle took it out.
No,
No.
so I marked that one too, that's section 4.5. It doesn't exist anymore, really. Is there a Northern Neck Broadband Authority anymore? I mean, they have no meetings.
As long as the Northern Neck Planning Commission exists, that other entity will probably technically exist. Does that
Okay.
make sense?
But does anybody, I mean, is
So,
it
I mean, they have no
entity?
meetings, they have,
Oh, they don't?
they do nothing.
Oh, they do nothing? Okay.
So, just in case, why don't we?
Oh, okay. All right, then you can tell him. Okay.
So, just in case,
Yeah. In the event
Something
that
comes
there's a
up?
need,
yeah.
I'll go, if
Kevin?
you want, yeah.
okay, let's just have somebody designate.
So I'll nominate Kevin? Or
I'll second.
designate, the authority shall designate.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
the
so
other.
she
Okay.
can literally say, Kevin, it's your job.
Okay,
so Kevin's designated as the Northern Neck Broadband Authority.
So I guess tomorrow I'll call
Designation.
around and be like, yo, when do we have our meeting?
Okay, and then I had a couple others. I cleared up, the annual audit is handled by Kevin.
I still think we should have a motion to designate him.
Should we have
Yeah,
a
just
motion?
in
Okay,
case, yeah.
let's do that. I move to designate Kevin Bean as the Northern Neck Broadband Authority.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, where was I headed? Oh,
Back to the
I've-
bylaws.
yeah, I just wanted to, based upon a conversation prior to the meeting started, I inquired about the annual audit that's required of the LCBA each year in May, the results of which are supposed to be provided to the directors and the board of supervisors. I understand that there's actually sort of a consolidated auditing process that takes place, and that has taken place each year, that the LCBA has been in existence.
Correct.
So that's good.
Who,
Oh, I have another treasure. The back talk, just so everybody knows, is something with the connection with Nicholas, and we're not really certain what's causing it. There's no noise in your room though, right, Nicholas?
I hear you fine.
Okay. Yeah,
Nick?
we're just, it's not,
but it might be his speakers.
Yeah.
him-
yeah, it's just
his
some sort
mic
of
picking up.
feedback, but you
Nick?
sound fine when you speak.
Yeah.
Nicholas, this is Glenn. I'm picking up some crosstalk off your connection. If you could just mute and unmute as you need to speak, that would probably fix it.
Oh, yeah, he did it already, just that quick.
Okay, thank you.
You don't have to leave.
No,
That's
he's,
the way he mutes.
no,
It's
or
a-
no.
he's
he
probably
might-
checking
He might be repositioning his speakers.
Yeah.
So,
Um,
he's like,
Okay, so the bylaws 9.2 talks about a bond to cover actions of the treasurer. Does anybody know if that bond was ever put in place?
I think that's done by, who is it, VCBA or somebody that does the insurance for, who is that?
I couldn't tell you.
Are you talking about going for a bond or insurance bond?
The authority shall obtain a fidelity bond in an appropriate amount to cover the actions of the treasurer.
This is for the
9.2 of the bylaws.
I probably
Yeah, I
checked
don't,
with John.
the Wireless Authorities Act gives the authority of the ability to go to, go to the bond market. I think that's what that's addressing.
Well, this is a bond. I'm not certain. I can check the Wireless Act, but the bylaws specifically say it's a separate bond in an
Is
appropriate
that for
amount to cover the
finance?
actions of the
Yeah,
treasurer. I
is that
just
for
want to know if
finance and
there's,
operations or the
I am-
insurance bond?
I am thinking it's talking about covering if the treasurer
Skips it.
absconded with some money
Yes.
or something
Yeah.
like that. And
Exactly.
that's normally what it is, and I would think that the county probably
I think-
has something, but
I'll
I'm
double
not
check,
sure.
I'll double check with Don.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Okay.
check with Don and
And
see
we'll
on
let you
that.
know something by tomorrow, because I gotta go see what's his name too.
okay.
I know Margie wrote that, and I think she did say county covers it. But yeah, check. I'm old, so I can.
But if it's something that shouldn't be in here, then we should remove it.
I think
Right.
that,
Yeah,
I think,
I
I
don't
know, I
remember
think
that
that,
being.
like, for some reason, I wanna say that when we made the board, that had to be in there.
Yeah.
But I
Oh,
think the
okay.
county actually covers the bond.
Okay, so the record's just gonna, the minutes are gonna reflect that Kevin's gonna look into it and
Yes, ma'am.
revert back.
And I don't think we could change the bylaws without going to the General Assembly.
No,
We're
we
not
can't change the
choosing.
statute. So our bylaws, we
Guess
can't
what?
change the statute, which is
Yeah.
different from our bylaws.
Yeah,
Our
we
bylaws
can change our bylaws.
conform with the statute.
I'm just, from my past experience, we tried, with the Eastern Shore, we tried changing, the bylaws where the county supervisors had to be on the board, and our, legal, counsel told us we would have to go to the General Assembly to change that.
We're not
Well,
changing.
He's saying
we're
that-
organized as a Delaware corporation. I don't think that process
Virginia.
applies, but right now, we're not amending the bylaws. We're just making certain that
Yeah.
We have that bond.
So we
we've
have that
addressed
covered.
everything
Yeah.
in our bylaws that we say that we are going to follow.
Yeah,
What she said.
That's all.
yeah.
Right.
We're organized as a
Yeah.
Virginia corporation.
Oh, it's a Virginia corporation. Did I
Yeah.
say Delaware? Sorry.
But our bylaws are in accordance with the act, the
Yes.
Wireless Services Act. I've gone through it in detail, and it is, our bylaws comply with the act, for sure.
Okay, those are the only things I had in reviewing the bylaws. Does anybody have anything else?
I had just a couple things. I found a typo
Oh, good.
on page, on section 2.7. To be consistent, bylaws, we just have like one word, no hyphen or anything.
I just shot him a text
So-
while we were talking about it, so.
My board members call me, I'm right there.
We're impressed.
So the question on the bond, that has to be on the treasurer, it's in our bylaws?
It's in our, yeah, it's in 9.2, it says that, hold on here. The authorities shall obtain a fidelity bond in the appropriate amount to cover the actions of the treasurer.
Do we
Is
need
that
to get
something that we need to
I don't
pursue?
believe that's ever been done.
So do
I was
we-
thinking maybe not, and so if it's some, I mean, it seems like a wise thing to do, but maybe it,
I don't think it's ever
That's-
been done.
I know Margie was following up on that, because she was the one who wrote most of the bylaws, going through.
Kevin said he was gonna double check, and if it hasn't been done, let's just do it. It seems like it's
To my knowledge.
an administrative thing that,
Yeah,
But
to my
should be-
knowledge, it has not been.
My question, that goes through Virginia State, the insurance, the big insurance company, is that who we go through for that?
Wow, I don't know.
Do we have any bonding here that,
Bonnie, I'm sure, does, that would be through the State Treasurers Association.
So
I
I
don't-
would be better talking to Bonnie to find out
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, touch
All
base with Bonnie on that, because
Okay.
I don't know the answer to that.
if you hit a wall, let me know.
Right.
I will help.
Well, Bonnie's not gonna be a wall.
need
but
to do a
she's
little
probably-
homework on it.
This is who you go
Yeah.
to, yes.
Uh,
Yeah, for money issues.
Yeah, because when I read your text about, I'm thinking, none of this rings a bell up here.
well, we were reviewing the bylaws, and that was one of the questions that came up, if we had it or
Well,
not.
we talked about that with Margie.
That's right, because Margie was the first
Yeah.
treasurer.
No,
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 Margie-
secretary.
Secretary.
Kevin's always been treasurer,
Kev- okay.
but she was the one who drafted the bylaws.
Right.
Right,
And
and,
I was explain it to Sherry, because Sherry's now technically our chair.
technically, she is.
I'm just, what I was-
Just
There are no
technically.
ifs, ands, or buts.
okay.
I'm out of it.
Anyway, she asked me about the audit, and I was like, we've participated in the audit ever since we've been created.
Yeah, I mean, the county's general auditor also audits the broadband authority
Perfect,
each year.
okay.
So, and she's like, do you give a report? I was like, I look at Don, I'm like, we do good. And Don's like, yeah, I ain't heard nothing bad. So that's the report.
Yeah, I
We
mean,
did.
they ask for copies of all of the broadband authority's bank
Bank
statements,
statements.
Bank
the
statements.
minutes, which
And-
y'all have online.
Yep.
And I can't think of anything else that they asked me for, but we provide what they ask for, and we've had no issues.
They just presented the report for June 30, 2022 at our last board meeting.
Yeah.
So we got
And
the
it was-
audit
It
report.
was fine.
Yeah,
It was-
Everything was fine,
An unmodified opinion, which is the highest that they can give.
yeah.
Perfect.
Good.
Which included everything, not just,
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
everything.
County.
Yeah, they do the same thing with their economic development authority as well. They ask for,
Open
bank,
EDA.
bank statements, copies of the minutes.
So if I ever die, this book, that's what you need,
Yeah.
okay?
Okay.
This book,
That book.
it's got everything.
Where do you keep
Yeah.
it?
It stays at my office at work, so my kids don't mess it
Yeah, but that bond question, I don't know the answer to that.
All right,
Bond,
Okay, well, we'll
yeah.
get it settled and take care of it if necessary.
that was a quick response, thank you.
When he doesn't know, he's very quick.
Never be out there.
If Olivia hadn't come in my office and asked me another question, I don't know that I would have still been here.
I saw your truck when I walked in, and I was a few minutes
Oh,
late.
yeah.
so-
There we have
Yeah,
the statute.
right.
I had my laptop in my
There's a
hand, getting ready to go.
complete,
Although.
You better go
yours is
escape in a
2.7.
hurry.
I don't have a 2.7.
And now,
What is it?
I have a 2.6.
When I said there's a typo?
Yeah.
they're finding typos now. I think the real questions are done.
Oh, you know what? That's from an old one. That's the
Okay.
older version. What am I thinking? Oh, no. No, it's not. Wait a second. 2.5, 2.7, under Article 2, meetings, page 2.
What does it read?
The very last sentence.
No, but see, look,
It's just 2 words, bylaws.
2.6.
Oh, funny. I have mine saying 2.7. Does yours?
Did you pull that off the website? Oh, that's why. Is that the one that you did?
Yeah.
Okay,
This is the
that's
one
what I don't have in here. Yes.
The auditor
okay.
has never asked for a copy of the bond either, so I don't.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know,
gonna,
is that one up on the website? The amended?
Don't volunteer it.
Does that mean I gotta have
Let
a
me know.
background
Well,
check
I can
again
check
and
too,
all
but
that?
I don't know
I'll
that I
check.
have.
I don't know.
Which I'm cool with.
Trying to keep my match.
Okay. And then
She's like, I'm trying to keep my mouth shut. Is that new for you?
you created it though, didn't you?
Yeah,
So
and that's why I
you
put
can
this as the
correct
one
that.
was approved.
You can,
Don't start
whatever
with
typos.
that.
Yeah, okay,
And I said you whatever, but,
okay.
okay. So the only other comment I have,
I do.
which,
I don't wanna see that other side of you.
since we were
Can everybody hear
talking
Michelle?
about the
Yes, ma'am.
needs for the website and so forth, and now that I'm vice chair, I would like to amend this section of the bylaws. And I just don't think it's necessary to be in the bylaws. It's under the Article 3, under Directors, Section 3.12. In the absence or disability of the chair, the vice chair will exercise the duties of the chair. In addition, the chair will maintain or supervise the maintenance of the authority's website. And I mean, I think that's fine.
Well-
But it seems like a strange thing
To be in
to
there.
to be in there. I don't think it's necessary to
Well,
specify.
my bylaws
I
don't
think
even
it
have that,
was,
so.
I think the original reason that was specified is so that no one person could just go throw something on the website without it being approved by the chair first. Because there was worry of us miscommunicating and it being put out on the website before it being true or something like that, and it was just a stopgap to keep that from happening.
I don't remember it, but that makes sense.
Okay, that's fine.
So,
It doesn't matter. I just thought it was odd that it's in there. All right, and that's the only comments I had. I had the same question about the Northern Neck Broadband Authority, but we took care of that, so.
Okay, so no formal amendments or substantive amendments to the bylaws, but there will be a correction to the typographical errors in the amended bylaws, and we will ensure that the bylaws as amended are posted to the website. Anything else on bylaws?
Nope.
nope.
Okay. We'll turn to the review of the LCBA budget submission. I think I gave everybody
Don, we
a
don't need
copy
to
of the revised one.
What's that?
I don't think we need to hold you if you don't.
I'm sorry, I want to hear this.
I knew he would.
Hey, so, Don, here so you can follow along.
Here.
And if we vote, then this is our.
Here's another one.
Hey, if
You
we
can give one to
vote,
Craig.
You
if
got-
we,
Here, Craig.
Don,
Craig.
if we vote, this
Here's
is
one
our
for-
official submission.
Yeah, so
Okay.
just give it to Craig.
Okay.
Oh, John.
That's the same one that you had already circulated.
Where'd you actually, huh?
That's the same upprinted one. You already circulated that.
I just
Right.
I got one.
made it
I read it.
Official,
prettier.
Final, okay.
Okay.
Had you emailed that? Because I'll attach that to the minutes.
Yes, I have an email
So
clean.
we're
clean. I
just
only got
voting
the
on this,
clean
right?
copy,
Not-
So I
or-
will.
I can just get one scanned.
Are we voting on
Oh,
this
no,
or
don't-
discussing
no,
this?
just- Get back home.
We had a question from Kevin.
What was it?
Are we voting on this or discussing this?
Well, does anybody have any questions or comments?
It looks
We
exactly like my.
discussed it at the last meeting.
Yeah, it
Looks
looks
exactly like my notes.
It looks
He found his
consistent.
notes from the
Perfect.
last meeting.
No, then, I think we can vote on giving this as the proposed budget to the Board of Supervisors. I make a motion that we submit the proposed budget dated 2/9/23 to the Board of Supervisors for its review and approval.
I second.
Anyone opposed?
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, budget's done.
On time,
Yeah.
as usual.
Actually, a day early.
I know. We looked at the calendar.
We planned this.
Yes.
Okay.
We do it
And
every year. It's always the
now
same.
we'll turn it over to Nicholas for the project updates.
Okay, BTS update, they're making a little more ground, on the fixed wireless program. They're up to 280, connected customers. That's up from 275 from last month.
That's 280, I'm
Um,
sorry, Nicholas.
We're having a
280?
very hard time understanding you.
Yeah, that was 280?
280 customers.
Yeah,
Is that better, or,
that's
That's
better.
better.
That's better.
and it was 275 last month.
So far.
Breeze Line, the Valley grant is, all construction is complete and ready for service. There are currently 38 customers in the Valley area that are in service, with another 40 pending in the queue.
I thought I turned this on. Sorry.
All Points Broadband, there's not too much to report on that. The project is on schedule with no updates from last month. However, I did speak with Tom Innes, and he sent me an email, and said they're on track to complete all Valley milestones several months ahead of the contracted schedule. So everything is still on track, which is good news. He did mention too that there is a lot of activity in Lancaster County with people registering for service on their website, on the website link.
That's good. There's been talk of, and I haven't been down 354 lately, but somebody told me they saw somebody running fiber down 354.
I don't know.
I believe that would be Dominion running all the middle mile fiber.
They said some.
That's Northern Electric down
I know, but they're the one running that fiber down there. I thought, aren't 354? Yeah, they're doing fiber down there
Yeah.
because the substation is theirs, right? Ain't there a substation down there that's theirs?
Yeah.
Dominions, the big one, like right there in Ottoman, or is that Northern Electric?
I think it's Northern
That's
Electric.
That's
I
Northern
think it's
Electric.
Northern Electric, I believe.
But, I mean, Northern Electric and Dominion are partnering in this
Yeah.
project, so perhaps Dominion is
They're
running the
the
fiber.
All right. Well, I just, that we had seen some boots on the ground actually doing something,
Well,
so.
there's a point here too, I'll bring up. Last year, I circulated a draft of an article that we could put out about where we were with Breeze Line, APB, BTS. Circulated among us, and there were one or two comments, and I added. And then with the holidays, and December wasn't a good month for me, but I finally redid the article, just added some updates, and I sent it out to Breeze Line and APB. Breeze Line, their response was, could you hold off? We'd like to do a press release. So I told them no. I'd like us, as an authority, to be able to go out to our citizens who are asking questions. So of course, they haven't sent anything back. I'm tempted to put it out anyway. But APB, I sent it to Tom Innes, and he had questions. I answered them. He said, well, can I see the article? I said, no, but here's the answers to your questions. And he did respond and gave me some information, and it's great, there's no problems. So just waiting for Breeze Line, and then Cherie, you can put the article in the paper if you like, once we get Breeze Line's comments in there. Okay, or I'll put it in, but I can put your name in it.
Oh, that's not necessary. It can be from the LCBA, it can be from you, but it doesn't have to be from me.
And I'll circulate it to all of us,
Okay.
to see it before it goes.
I don't understand though, was Breeze Line, did they offer anything more? I mean, what,
No, they said that.
because they could put out any press release they
I
could
know,
put out,
that's-
and they should be putting information out.
And, see, they're waiting for Caroline County. They're this close to
They wanna
finishing
do it
in
all at
Caroline.
once.
So they want to put it when all four
Oh,
are done.
well, I don't think Lancaster County needs to be at the mercy of Breeze
That's
Line's.
why I told them. no.
Okay, so we're not really waiting for anything from that. If he has comments, he has comments, but there's,
Yeah,
you know.
I'm gonna go back to Crystal and say, you said you had a couple of tweaks. What are they?
So let me look at it again though, because I just want to see if there's anything that would be considered not already in the public domain, and if that's
Oh, there's
right, then
nothing.
there's no reason to
You're
wait
right.
for anybody.
This is what they've already told us. Everything's in the public domain, but I'll send it to you.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's great. I think we should, because I think one of the things we talked about the last time was the importance of customer outreach, right?
Yeah,
At our
and that's
last
what
meeting.
I
So-
told Crystal. I said, we have a responsibility. Our citizens want to know,
Yeah.
where are we?
That's great.
So, yeah.
Okay,
I'll send it around again. I want everybody to see it before it goes anyplace anyway. And I'll put Tom's in there.
okay.
Smart.
Hmm.
Not funny.
Tom was also going to try, remote, he did on this meeting, but he's on babysitting today. So I said, I extended the offer to, be at our next meeting, if that's agreeable with the board.
What he contributed to the article was very good. And it mentioned a lot more about NNEC. So it was good. He had about 3 or 4 sentences.
Okay,
And FYI, if this is going to go out in the next paper, it has to be to the record by noon on Tuesday.
Tuesday, yeah. Okay. BTS?
You gave BTS first.
He
Yeah,
did.
t-
Oh, that's
smart.
right,
Yeah.
the 280. Okay.
Yeah, BTS breeze line and all points will update.
Anything, I see we have smart poles on here.
330. So he's under the 10% mark.
Are,
He's under the 10% mark
Mhm.
as far as actually getting those 300.
Yeah.
So that's good.
nothing to report there, though.
No, and I don't think there's been any disconnects on the fixed wireless, which is amazing and good news.
Okay, anything else on the projects?
No,
No.
I got
everything seems to be
Yes.
going very smoothly.
Don?
Yeah, hey, Nick, this is Don Gill. I got one question that was asked of me on yesterday, I think. Related to the Breeze Line Valley project, someone had Breeze Line run the connection all the way from the road to their house, and they weren't charged for that. But in comparison, the APB project, I know that they have that great deal of charging no more than $199 or something like that for the first year to run the connection from the road to the house. Is the Breeze Line Valley one, is that no charge for that connection from the road to the house? Or what's the answer to that question?
If they did it on their own dime. I don't think they're allowed to, that's why they have the LCAP program. I forget that program via the state for long driveways.
I thought,
If there's more than one address, then it is reimbursable by value to go down those long driveways. So there could be another address nearby, even though there might not be a dwelling on it.
Okay.
So that's interesting, though, Don, because we had a different report by a Lancaster County citizen who is in Breeze Line's territory, came to the LCBA for assistance, wanting to know if there was somebody else that they could get their service from, because Breeze Line came out and said, yes, we can provide service, but it'll cost you $5,000 for installation. And in response to that, consumer, I did some research on whether the federal or the state grants require any kind of discount for installation, because deploying broadband is one thing, but if you have to pay $5,000 to get a connection in order to receive the broadband, the likelihood of some citizens being able to pay that or willing to pay that is probably low. And APB is offering right out of the box,
Right.
as part of its deployment in Lancaster County, if you sign up in the first 12 months, doesn't matter how long your driveway is, you will have installation for $213 a month. It's either $213 or $231. So, so that got me to thinking that, well, shouldn't the ISPs, Should there be something to reduce the installation cost? But I can find nothing in the law anyway. But obviously, some providers are willing to use the government funding, which you, and you could argue, I mean, you could make an argument that the government funding contemplates that you will use the money in a way to encourage the greatest deployment of broadband to as many consumers as possible. But nobody's required to do that. But APB is doing that. And so if you were saying, Breezeline was saying no fee for installation, that's contrary to this other person who's getting 5,000 for installation. And this is one of those things that I think the LCBA could work with the providers to figure out what are they doing to help people get installed. Because $5,000 to get installed in order to get broadband that's finally in your neighborhood is pretty steep. I realize some people aren't even gonna, you know, blink at that cost because they really want it and they can afford it, but a lot of people can't.
And see, I was under the impression people that were serviceable by Breezeline before we did all the VATI stuff, pre-VATI, those people were still stuck. I was under the impression all the new VATI stuff was allowed to get the free to their house part. That was what I thought we originally worked out. That does not, see, that's, what's the location of the customer that came to you? Were they an old customer that could have gotten it the whole time? Or is it somebody that just got turned up? Is that think under the just?
I don't know, but I didn't see it in the VATI that there's a requirement for them to offer installation for free.
See,
So,
that's interesting, because like
Well-
APB application for the grant money, that specified,
they offered it.
right, like
Yeah.
it's in there,
Right,
right?
that's right.
And also in the filings with the SEC, I mean,
Yep.
it's very explicit.
Yep, they ponied up.
So, but the Breezeline VATI grant, I was with Kevin, I thought that was covered
But I
by, like implicit in that.
But I think that's
Yeah, it's
only,
worth looking at.
only for those households in that VATI though.
Those
not-
specific households, right, because they're saying they're gonna deliver
To the home.
services to those particular homes.
Well, that's great. I mean, if you're within the VATI grant, those individuals will be covered for this installation issue. But we still have an installation issue, it appears.
Yeah, no, but I think it's worth, I'll go back.
But I think
and
we
look
should
at the
confirm on the
grant,
VATI
and we
grant.
should
Because the
confirm.
research that we did, you know,
Yes.
generally on the federal and the state, Virginia state and the feds, we couldn't find anything specific.
Yeah.
But if there is something in the VATI grant,
Yeah,
I
could
think it
we
would be good for us to know for when we're talking to Lancaster County constituents.
right, and
know,
then
look, if
make
you're
sure
part
we
of-
ask them, well, are you, for
Right.
one of these homes specified in
Right.
this grant, we need to determine that. If not,
Then we need to go back and say, hey, what are you gonna do for
right.
existing?
I mean, the thing, you know, it appears that there's no requirement for them to do it. They're going to have to be willing to do it.
Right.
Do you think we can pin down Breezeline on that?
I believe this is why they came out with the LEAD cap program.
Well,
To
the
fund
lead
these long
cap,
drops.
the lead cap is an excellent program, but you have to be, you know, you have to meet the eligibility criteria. That's the only
Yes.
way you get that funding. That's just like the Schools and Libraries program or the Universal Lifeline program or whatever. You got to be eligible. You know, you got to be taking school lunch program or something in order to get the discounted
That's everybody
service.
in this county?
Well, it may be, but, I mean, there are a lot of people who don't meet the criteria for those programs, but still couldn't afford $5,000 for installation in order to have broadband in their home. And that, they're gonna fall through the cracks.
That would be me.
And that would be very disappointing because everybody needs broadband.
So you think we can clear this up with Breezeline to
Maybe.
clear that up and maybe even generate a list of who qualifies for this so we'd know?
That qualifies for, under the VATI versus everybody else. We could maybe do it by location.
Yeah, the VATI should have all the houses already
Right.
listed in it.
Yep.
So that shouldn't be an issue. It's
Well-
going back to them and saying, what about these people that have had service running past their house, but their house is like 300 yards off the road? Typical farmhouse. anywhere around here.
Right.
So. You had something to say, Nick?
Well, I was just kind of curious where the one that the rehab, the address, we had one that, you know, Don mentioned that he was for free, they didn't install, and I don't know what the reason was. I mean, it could be going past it. There's a lot of times when lines go, the main line goes, past private property, service other homes. I don't know if it's at the end of the line or not. And Cherie's, why they want $5,000, is that in the Valley area or not?
Yeah, because this is basically gonna be that same situation they're gonna have on Blue Water Farm. Like, what's that main road that runs to Blue Water Farm? What is, oh,
To-
God.
To where?
Well, you know Blue Water Farm Road? This is,
Yeah.
off Fleets Bay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, they run to Blue Water Farm Road, but the government says that Fleets Bay doesn't go to the rest of them houses, that's their own little community, so they ran to Blue Water Farm, and you got like 10 houses sitting there that,
Well, that's because, if I'm correct, on Fleet Bay Road, the end of it is because it's under the RDOF grant. The Valley funding cannot be used where there's other federal funds being used. So it stopped right by, I think, Weems Road or wherever it stopped by. I spoke with Breeze Line. They're working on it internally to see, looking at building out the rest of Fleet Bay Road using their own internal cash funds. It's, you know, because they can't use Valley funds, it makes sense for them to extend it to the end, to serve all the customers.
yeah, because that's what, like, when I physically went down and saw it, it's like, because like those houses, while ultimately the length of the houses away, the last one's kind of in the distance, they're still all well under a mile.
Yes, it's not that far of an extension, but once again, that was funded, was one by RDOF under,
Sky One or Sky somebody.
Skylink.
yes, the Starry affiliate.
Yeah. So,
But I did speak with Breeze Line a few weeks ago about that, and they're, seeing if they can do that with their, you know, business as usual, what the business case for that would be, whether they're extended, now they built already, you know, they got the biggest chunk of that built out already. And I think it's Weems Road or Loblolly Road they stopped at.
well, it's Blue Water Farm Road's where they stop. That's
Okay.
pretty much where the state main.
Because I think,
stops.
if I'm not mistaken, Kevin, isn't that the one customer that was inquiring about it? They were just an extension right past the end of the line.
Yeah.
I think they are putting in service, that customer.
So,
Okay, anybody have anything else? If not, I want to make a motion to move into closed session.
our accounts, the only thing that's changed with the in-county accounts is the 1,900 we paid out to Nicholas. And then the Chesapeake Bank account is still sitting at $41,278.83.
Can we,
And we have a question for Don that we kind of came up with. Are we allowed to invest money?
Yes,
Yeah.
statute allows us to do that.
that account is growing
Yeah,
and
it's
it's
just
just
sitting there.
sitting there. So we should do something with some of it, let it grow a little bit more.
Well, you can get like 4.25%
If you
If
put
we
now
move it to,
interest.
if we move it to a savings, though,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
So am I allowed to do something like that? Go
Yeah.
move half of it to savings? leave
Yeah,
the
I
other?
mean, or you could get a CD. I mean, the EDA has a CD and a general checking account. And, you know, when they need to, I just recently pulled the interest off of the CD and moved it to the general checking account to help fund grants that they do. But yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, I'm sitting there, why are we letting this money just sit?
yeah, no.
Well, do we have to make a motion for that? Because this involves money.
Well, let's wait till next month so we can come back with options. Then we'll make a motion.
Okay, money options.
Yes, money options.
Okay, Kevin will look into it.
That's good, because 4.5 says the treasurer shall be responsible for the funds and securities of the authority, so.
Trying to make it grow.
Okay, any other business?
Who's going to do the presentation for February to the BOS?
February 23rd.
23rd.
So I would need, by February, close of business, February 16th.
This is the budget meeting, right? Is February?
No,
No.
the
No.
monthly.
Just
I know, I'm
monthly.
talking about, when is the Board of Supervisors having their big budget meeting where, hey,
Well,
It's in
They'll
March.
have budget presentations from departments and NGOs on March 28th and March 30th.
so,
Then they'll hold,
and you should all come for that.
they'll hold a public hearing at their April regular meeting and adopt at their regular May
May
meeting.
meetings, always May.
We have a meeting April 13th.
April 13th is also, that's to adopt the school board budget
Yeah,
and any additional discussion on the general budget.
yeah.
What date
The 23rd.
of this month?
I'm going to be visiting my parents.
I'll be in Florida myself.
I'll do it. Oh, you want to do it?
I have a procedure.
I'll be in town.
I'll be
Going by
under.
default.
No, I get
Since
it.
you got all this extra time now, not being chairman.
Oh,
Being
shut
chair.
Yeah.
You will get you.
But you gotta understand,
I
people
couldn't
like it when
resist.
they see the same friendly face every time.
I don't do it every time.
I'm saying though, but people like
Like
it
it.
when they see the same.
They like consistency, yeah.
Get consistency. I'll do it.
And you can take another jab at Mr. Palin before.
Oh, I already, I'm going to ask him if he wants me to be his campaign
You
manager.
leave Palin alone.
Oh, no, I never
I
leave
love me
Palin
Mr.
alone.
Palin.
You better watch it. He might take you up on it.
Once again, she's got all this free time.
Hey, you cannot strike other people. That is not allowed, just because you're a board member.
Just wait till the camera's off.
Jeez.
Okay. That's the other
Okay.
thing. All right, I'll do the 23rd.
Just get me it by,
The
that Thursday,
16th?
16th.
All right.
We can-
Report
Thank you,
to.
Don.
And we've already talked, so I don't need
Yes.
to be here for this.
No, no, thank you.
All right, so now we're going into close?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
Do you need me to
Okay.
stay or go?
No.
Oh, okay. Because I mean, if you don't need me, I'll step out. I don't want to stay unless y'all need me.
No, this is more of an employment thing,
Okay, all right.
which I'm about to say. I'd like to make a motion to move into closed session to discuss potential candidates.
You gotta read that whole thing.
Pardon me?
You gotta read that whole thing.
Are y'all taking
Well,
names for the extra
it's coming.
position on the board?
Yes.
So just get them to any of y'all if you got.
Well, it's not gonna do that, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah. we
I've
have
got it,
minutes.
I've
We're
got
gonna
it.
But
discuss
it needs to be quick, because we're like pretty close to,
Are y'all doing that now? or-
Yeah, we've interviewed.
Okay, okay, all right. I was thinking about the extra board position as far as sitting on, taking Gary's spot.
Yes,
this is
we're
what it is.
discussing
This is
candidates
what
and
it
then
is.
we'll make, based on this discussion, we'll be making a nomination to the Board of Supervisors.
That'll be at your monthly.
Yeah.
For you to vote
I had
on.
a name, but I haven't talked to the guy, so I don't want to say it without talking to him, so
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
I didn't realize y'all were doing that. All right,
Okay,
thank you.
yeah,
Have a beautiful
thank
night.
you.
Take care.
Bonsoir.
Okay, so pursuant to 2.23712, I want to make a motion to move into closed session regarding the purpose of which is to discuss candidates for open seat on the board pursuant to 2.2-3711, paren 1, close paren.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And we're now going to move into closed session.
Drink.
And we're going to take a 2 to 3 minute recess.
While she, hey, and while we're taking this 2 to 3 minute
Coffee and
recess,
tea will be served.
you get to
shortbread
take her
cookies.
You get to take